Hello everyone, this is Record of Ragnatalk, the podcast about the manga and anime Record of Ragnarok. And man, we have a lot to talk about today, such as major manga spin-off news, no Anime Expo reveals, and my thoughts on Chapter 90. Our first story is a quick one. According to the official Record of Ragnarok Twitter page, there will be no news of a Season 3 at Anime Expo this year. Anime Expo is the largest anime convention in North America, with at least 100,000 people showing up. Anime studios know that if they want to show off their work to a Western audience, this is the best way to do it. Last year, there was a Record of Ragnarok Season 2 panel. However, unfortunately, this year, there will be no news of a Season 3. But that doesn't deter me. I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna try to have a good time, meet up with fellow Record of Ragnarok enthusiasts, hopefully some cosplayers, and hey, I'll still try to make a vlog or two. I'll see what I can do, and I'll definitely do my best to have some fun while there. Major manga news, as in a spin-off, has been announced. Spin-offs are nothing new to Record of Ragnarok by any means. I mean, we had the Jack the Ripper spin-off and of course the Lubu spin-off, but now this is a spin-off about the gods, and the premise is very interesting, and the preview shows a couple of characters that are probably going to be in it. At the very left, we can see the only god we're actually familiar with, and that's Indra, who showed up with round 5. Him, of course, being one of the gods that Shiva and his buddy defeated, ultimately coming to root for Shiva in his fight against Raiden. But although we are familiar with the Hindu god of lightning, we really didn't see much of him. There was a slight tease of him. We know he had a voice and a voice actor, but really like his abilities and his backstory, we know absolutely nothing about. But Buddy in the Middle definitely stirred up a whole lot of pots. I mean, just look at the symbol he has pinned to his shoulder. That is undeniably Celtic, which got the Irish in me very, very excited. I mean, this is likely Cuchulainn. For those who don't know, Cuchulainn is a demigod and a hero in Irish medieval literature. But this is more than just, we're getting Cuchulainn. This is showing that we are going to be getting pantheons outside of the established pantheons that we already have in Ragnarok. We have a decent variety within Ragnarok itself. Of course, Beelzebub being Abrahamic, Buddha, although he, it didn't turn out well for the gods to put him in there, but he is Buddhist, Shiva with Hindu, a lot of Greeks, of course, Apollo, Hades, Hercules, Poseidon, Zeus, the Japanese/Shinto pantheon with Bishamonten and Susanoo, and don't even get me started on Norse mythology. Not only do we have Loki, Odin, and Thor fighting, but come on, like the main characters, Gold, Brunhild, all the Valkyries, the announcer Heimdall, they're all Norse. And last but certainly not least, of course, Anubis. He's the only Egyptian god we've seen, at least so far. And if you look into the preview, we have, I believe, to be an Egyptian god to the very right. I've come to the conclusion that I believe he is Egyptian due to the jewelry he is wearing on his wrists and his chest. Now, due to his darker skin complexion, I've seen some people speculate that he is Yoruban, but personally I don't think that's true. Although people in northern Africa are typically lighter than those who are found in central and southern Africa as well as western Africa, that doesn't mean that there haven't been black people in Egypt. The 25th dynasty of Egypt actually saw Nubian invaders, and pharaohs, who were later dubbed the Black Pharaohs, actually were ruling over the Egyptian civilization, along with, of course, the Nubian civilization, and they not only were known as the Black Pharaohs, but more correctly, the Kushite rulers. Now, whatever god this is, I can't tell you. Your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, I'm definitely excited about this because the story is apparently the gods fighting to find out who will have the final spot in Ragnarok. Which, it isn't Odin? Pretty much everyone was under the impression that Odin was going to be the final fight in Ragnarok, but no. The gods are going to hold their own tournament outside or along with Ragnarok to find out who will have the honor of representing the gods in the final fight. I'm not gonna lie, this spin-off, which is starting next month on June 25th, has me more excited than any other spin-off we've had ever. Period. for this series. So with Chapter 90, we saw Suzuno's ultimate attack, which ultimately leveled Kyoto in some beautifully hand-drawn art. But I can't help but feel a little bit underwhelmed. We haven't seen a single second of Okida's backstory, or even his Valkyrie. I love the fact that we're having the Volanders, and that the Valkyries, they have to bond with the human fighters, and we haven't seen that at all. I mean, say what you will about Round 9, but I mean, at least we saw the Valkyrie pretty early on, and she had a fun relationship with Leonidas. We don't even know who Okida's Valkyrie is. We don't even know her name, let alone what she looks like, what her personality is. I don't know. I just feel like we really should get, a peek of Okida's Valkyrie. Like, yeah, he's heating up. His heart's beating really quickly, which I saw somebody speculate that Okida's Valkyrie is literally his heart, but that wouldn't make any sense because obviously the sword, by the rules of Ragnarok, that it wouldn't hold up. He would need a Valkyrie weapon. I've seen rumors and speculations that the next fight the next chapter next month is going to be a double chapter, and I haven't seen a single source for that. I haven't seen an official leaked tweet. I haven't seen an official source tweet saying that next month is going to be a double chapter. This month's chapter to me was sort of a bit filler. I mean, I'm not to say it wasn't cool. There were definitely some very, very cool moments, and Suzuno's technique and the art, and seeing Okida counteract Suzuno's extremely powerful technique, that was cool, but I feel like we need more. I feel like in recent months, this has been sort of the most underwhelming chapter. And I don't like saying that. But I want to be honest. As cool as this chapter was, I wish the next chapter were here already. It didn't make me feel like, oh, we're really about to go to the next round. Like, it didn't make me to me. There wasn't a cliffhanger. I mean, there was Okida's fully powered up. He's in full demon mode, but I don't know. It just, for me, it wasn't a chapter that made me feel that excited about the continuation of this fight. I feel like if I had seen Okida's Valkyrie this chapter, I would have been much more excited. I would have been a lot more eager and encouraged to see what goes on further. But because this round really just, it showed Okida powering up and it showed Suzuno's ultimate technique, and both of those are really, really cool. But I don't know, I feel like even though it showed some cool stuff, it wasn't up to the standard that I'm used to with Shumatsu no Valkyrie. Well, with that being said, I am excited about next month. It didn't completely kill the hype of the fight for me. I feel like we're really reaching the climax of the fight, but ultimately I'm still I'm ready to see what happens next. I just feel like this chapter, to me, it didn't deliver enough excitement. I am excited to see this fight continue. I am enjoying this fight, but I feel like this chapter really needed more for me to feel fully satisfied with this month's release. But it could be, hey, we had to keep this month's chapter short because we're doing a double chapter and a new spin-off next month. Again, I don't know if it is a double chapter. I hope it is, the more the merrier, but ultimately I cannot say that this month scratched that itch for me. But hey, next month is June, and then 4 months after that chapter drops, I'm going to be 4 months? No, not 4 months, I'm sorry. 4 days after that chapter drops, I'm going to be heading to California for Anime Expo and meeting up with some family. So, I'm going to be in a really, really good mood. I'm going to be in vacation, honeymoon phase for California when the next chapter drops. So, hey, I'm excited for next month. This month, I kind of expect a little bit more, but hey, as long as we get an awesome chapter next month, along with the beginning of that awesome new spinoff, I think I'll survive.